I was really happy today to see the wave installed on the +1 dome. It's a milled version of this series of big clays that I work on. It actually was nice to come around the corner and just see that, you know. I had a good moment. You never know. That's an issue, you know, with big sculptures. It's like being a captain of a big boat. You got to make all the decisions way before, because once you get to the point, there is no more. You can't, you know, like a big ship takes half an hour to stop. It picks up any kind of light and color, so it becomes not. It doesn't become totally ephemeral, but it is more an ephemeral experience in a way that disintegrates with the light. So its shape is not like, if you have the same shape out of marble, for example, it would feel like a very heavy statement, or like it would feel like this is now a big thing. In all its reflections, it kind of breaks it up. So I always thought like that's kind of like the surface of water that takes on the nature of what's around it. The process that I use for this sculpture is it starts with a small maquette. They're made in a way that when you make a sculpture, usually you go in and you change. So the changes that happen with these small maquettes happen in the editing process rather than on the sculpture. So I decide on a maquette, then we do quite a bit of digital work on it to get the textures right and all of that. What I wanted to make is a large sculpture that has the kind of sharpness that you get from the process of subtracting. That always leaves a sharper mark than something that has been added, that becomes a more soft experience, you know. It's a process that I try to work on where you circumvent or you trap or trick yourself so to not fall into that place where you start to kind of beautify it in a way. If we think of a wave, we think of many things, I guess. I think everything is a wave, you know, like electricity is a wave, light is a wave, sound is a wave. Everything is organized in a wave format. And there is a funny thing, if you think of waves, like let's say a wave on the beach, you know, the wave that we think of is not the wave as long as it's underwater. It's the wave when the wave collides with a different element. That's when it starts to kind of grow or come out and then also kind of die, you know. There's this moment, and I think it's exciting to almost all of us, like to see any wave break, you know. I think it's just not only the sound, but just that feeling. It feels like a place of longing, a safe place, even though it's a very temporary situation, you know. Any photo you see of any surfer in that tunnel, you think that's the most beautiful thing. And maybe there is a perfection in the way water moves, you know, that makes it so appealing. It's like a fantasy place, you know. And in that fantasy place, there is also something, the opening in the middle is a feeling of like this space, but also that you can go, it's kind of like a passage. I understand this works as somewhat an emulsifier, the way the role they take on. They despite their size, in no location I felt they become dominant, because there's something organic or almost nature-like about it, you know. These shapes, and often you have architecture or whatever in context, so it somewhat ties in. In nature it starts to look more like nature, and in a city it becomes counterbalanced to the structure of architecture.